Yeah, I can.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, location group, you did that, right? Is it completed or still in
Yeah,
process?
it's done.
So, you are
Vendor.
able to render in the window summary,
Yeah.
right? The only thing is the minor chunk, what is the detailed view, how exactly it should be displayed, that is what you have to focus.
Okay.
So here you are referencing the same screen, right? A summary as it is in summary. So
Correct.
the same one is referenced. You can change the title also. The summary shows summary again. So you can change the location property, I guess.
Okay.
Not here in the studio. You have to change it for that location group.
I
So
changed it to
let's
vendor.
enter summary.
Vendor summary, this is on the location group, but here I have to change it here, right? So summary.
Please. Okay. Here. This is the title. Summary DB helper. Summary DB. I think the title part is displaying this one.
Yeah, here. Here only I should be changing, right?
No, just click on paste on top, paste container.
Okay. I
Just
click.
go to this display key. Just go to summary DB display key. Control plus click. In the title.
Mm-hmm.
Here you click on control plus. No, not here. In the properties title. Yeah, control. You can click on control or one of the display key. You click here. Training.summary DB helper, right?
Yeah.
Training.summary DB.
I
Yeah,
can just.
control plus click. Control no on summary DB.
Okay.
You can go to training only, and you can give the plus symbol and go directly.
Until.
No, here no. Yeah, summary DB. Click on that.
Okay.
So yeah, you can see, right? This is the display key that is directly referencing.
Okay.
If you change here one summary, that will be reflected there.
Okay.
So I'll make myself okay, not possible. Okay.
Yeah.
So here today we are going to cover the different client-side behavior and server-side behavior. What are the validation rules?
Okay.
How the validation will be done in the application.
So
So there are in some screens you will.
one doubt. What is the difference between go and forward? I know you said that, but I forgot.
Go
In
and
the
forward.
location.
Go and push. Go and push.
Go and push. Yeah.
Yeah. See, go is nothing but, so you can see in your vendor summary page, right? In the location, what you did, AB vendor summary page dot go, you mentioned.
Okay.
If you say that, the page will be directly rendered in the screen area, and there won't be, it cannot remember the previous screen location.
Okay.
Whereas push is mainly used for pop-ups. Go is mainly used for pages, whereas push is for pop-ups. So pop-up is a kind of screen which will be rendered on top of existing screen. So if you are in summary page, you are clicking on any vehicles, you are clicking on any incidents. So what happens is on top of the summary page, this page will pop-up will be opened, placed, and it will have the hyperlink to the return to summary page, return to the previous page. That is what it will display.
Okay.
So it will remember the previous screen location.
Okay.
Okay, so we will see what is the server-side behavior and client-side behavior. So there are so many interactive widgets which will be displayed or which will be disabled based on the data that we enter in the row widgets. So here, what is the dynamic widget behavior and the properties related to the widget behavior? We will see in these sessions. Dynamic widget behavior is nothing but if you are clicking on, for example, if you take inspection required. So if the user says inspection required equal to yes, then it should display the inspection date when the inspection should be done. Otherwise, there is no requirement to display the inspection date. If the users choose inspection requires one, then it should display the inspection date option. So this is we can achieve with the help of server-side widget behavior, and let us see how we can do that. So what are the different things we can do here? To hide widgets or containers relevant to the current business process. So if you want to hide the widgets, so that is there. And to conditionally prevent widget values from being modified. So you're directly enforcing the values to be some fixed values. So you can have that logic and to conditionally make widgets value required. So whether the required value of that widget is required or not. So there is also you can configure with the server-side behavior. And you can see up to update data immediately after user changes equivalent magic value. So these are the different operations we can do. Let us see. So processing can be either server side or client side. And in this lesson, we will see the total server side validation. Processing, sorry. So if you see how we can achieve is, so we have seen all the atomic widgets. Whatever the widgets have a ID property. So ID is most important to do this server side processing or whatever. So here ID will be used in most of the cases. So let us see what we are trying to do. So some widget properties can be set to user expressions. They define dynamic behaviors. So here the visible condition is based on some value. So an AB contact as AB company dot inspection required equal to true. Then only this inspection date should be visible. So this is the example here we are talking about. So on inspection date visible property, we are looking for the inspection required property value. So based on that value, this inspection date will be visible or hidden. And yeah, what are the properties related to the widget that you can find it in the PCF reference. So here you can see what is the action, what is an ID, what is a visible condition, visible property, what is the purpose of that description about that visible condition. Everything is defined in the PCF reference document. So properties that use expressions. So these are the different options you can do with the help of expressions. So visibility. So here based on the inspection required radio button, the inspection date will be visible. Will be visible or will be hidden. So if it is yes, it will be visible. If it is no, it is hidden. Similarly, editable. So once the user gives the main email address, you want to make the alternative email as a editable field. That is one scenario. And requiredness. So if you see driver license is provided, then you want to enter the state as a required field. So the state is marked as required once the driver license number is given. So the required indicator is shown as a star. And whereas labels, so the labels will be rendered dynamically with the help of expressions like the addresses of 2, nodes of 0, the number of elements which is consisting of the total length of the array is depicted here with the help of addresses of 2. If you see every contact location group LG, there you will find the exact addresses of what is that in the parentheses what is given. So in the parentheses it is given a contact dot all addresses dot length. Length is the property on the array. So that will be calculated dynamically. The expression will return the value. And let us see the conditional visibility. So this is what we can configure for a particular field. So to display this inspection date or not to hide it, we have to set some properties. So the properties we will see here for each and everything. So how it will be rendered. So if you see by default conditions evaluated only when screen is drawn. So the conditions are evaluated during the screen refresh. So for that purpose, we should refresh the screen with one property. So we will see. So during the initial refresh of the screen, it will look for all the properties of a particular widget. So if it is true or false, based on that, that property will be evaluated. So in this case, the visibility of inspection date field will be initially it will be based on inspection required value. So if you change the value to yes, then the date field is displayed. So let us do some examples. So for example, I have to start the server. Otherwise, I will ask you to do this. So you do one thing, make a presenter again, and let us do some example here.
Okay.
Okay, so just go to go to detail space. The browser detail space. Click on edit. So you don't have edit button here. You have to give that. Okay, edit, and here. Okay, can have employees or no?
I think there is already a number of employees, right?
Number of employees. Okay, can have no if it is.
It doesn't.
It is not display, right?
Yeah, it won't.
Now you just go to this detail view. You can understand this. How to go to this? This is the contact person details TBS. Double click the blue area, the screen area. No, not this one. This is what you are watching. Occupation employer.
This one
Not this one, right?
Not this one. Not.
Go to the screen. Okay.
Close all.
The company info, I guess.
All control.
This is company info because you have created a company, right? Vendor company.
Okay.
So click on company. You just double click this area, blue area. The second tab you will find it, company info. No, just right side. Double click the right side area. Yeah, this one. Click on company info. Yeah, this tab will be visible. This card based on some condition. You can see visible property. For example, to understand when it will be displayed, go to visible property.
Yeah. If it is a company, it will be displayed.
It will be visible. Similarly, every tab will have visible condition.
Okay.
Okay, double click this company reference.
Which one? The company double click.
Double click. Yeah, no, the blue screen area. That. So it is a reference, right? So if it is in blue color, it is reference DB. Double click.
Where should I double click?
The blue area.
Blue area.
The blue area, employee info. No. Below that.
Okay.
Detail view. So you understand, right? This blue. What is the color combination? You understand?
Yeah. Color.
Do you have any questions?
No, color combination. So basically, this one, this dark blue is inside this one, right?
Okay.
The
light blue color is reference to this.
Correct.
Yeah. So if you want to go into that, for example, employee info, click on employee info. It will be navigated to this detail view.
Correct.
Double click. Now you can see, right? So this is how it is included.
Yeah.
So if you want to see how it is included, you just go to that page again. AB contact details CV or CV. So you just click on panel ref. Already you are on panel ref, right?
Yeah.
So you can see definition. AB contact details company DB. So this is the PCF they are directly referencing in the this parent container. So you can use control on the definition part and you can navigate to this DB. There are two ways you can navigate. One is double click on the blue area or just in the definition, hold down the control button and click the name. It will be navigated to the corresponding PCF.
Okay.
Control plus click, mouse left click. The definition. Yeah.
Okay.
So right, these are the two ways you can navigate to this PCF. So you understand, right? The definition is the most important property that where you will be configuring the card use, detail use, whatever all the properties are, reference to BCF names will be given there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the can have employees input. And if you go down in the properties, just scroll down. Scroll down, not this one. Scroll down. You will find one property called post on change.
Yeah.
Wait. So post on change. This is the important property which makes the refresh on the page. Okay. So you have to identify what is the triggering widget. So this is the triggering widget. So by making changes to this widget, it should the page should be refreshed, and based on the condition we have to display the other elements. So what is the dependent widget that we have to identify? So number of employees, right?
Yeah, number of.
So click on number of employees and scroll down. In the visible property, you will find the condition when it should be visible.
Okay.
So now you can see. So what is the condition? So AB contact as AB company, that is a typecasting operation, no need to worry. And the company dot can add employees. What is this can add employees?
ID
so
of
this is
one.
No, not ID. So ID will be used in some other place. I will explain that. So this can add employees is a entity field. Okay. So you understand that this is dot that one, right?
Okay.
So
okay.
entity dot entity field.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to see what is this can add employees, click on the previous widget. Can have employees. Can have employees, and go to the value property. Value. You can see, right?
Yeah.
This is what the way. If the user chooses the radio button yes, it will have the value true. If the radio button is chosen as no, this value will be updated as false in the database. Okay. So but you are changing the value, but in the next widget, so the next widget you can see, right? The next widget visible property is set on this property value. Correct.
Yeah.
So while loading the page, it will be based on that value. This condition will be evaluated.
Okay.
But during the change of the drop down, the complete page refresh should happen. So that is why we are setting the post on change property to the true. Okay. So you are getting it right. So this is how the server side. So server side behavior means the data will be sent to the application server again, and the data means when the user chooses the radio button as yes, it will be again the complete refresh will be done, and the widget's properties will be evaluated again. So now the widget property is looking for whether this is true or not. If the above property is true, then we are displaying visible, the condition itself visible. So what is a property? So property is visible. So the visible part, if you want to see what is visible, just place over the mouse on the visible property. Visible property name. Yeah, you can see the tooltip.
Yeah.
So similarly, all the properties have the tooltips. To understand what is the functionality of the property, you just place over the tooltip. Mouse. You will get that tooltip on that property. So let us take validation expression. Place on validation expression. So that is the validation part. If you want to give any expression to validate that field. So a goes expression to be run before committing the record. This expression can be referred to any symbols available to this widget. If this expression returns null, the validation is considered as successful. If the written validation expression returns some value, the validation fails, and it should display some warning or validation message. That is also should be taken care by us.
Okay.
Okay, this is all about client side, server side behavior, and I'm making myself as a presenter now, and let us see how the things we can do here. Okay, so now you are able to see my screen, right?
No, not yet.
So this is what we did in our example, and so this is the main property that is notifying the server that my value has changed. So post on change equal to true, which will refresh the complete page itself again, so that we will be the page will be refreshed again. New server copy will be generated and it will be sent to the browser. And this property is this is the main property. Whatever the 4 cases we discussed, right? It can be visible, editable, requiredness. So to change the properties values, we have to use the post on change equal to true. So executing code when widgets change. So some widget behavior cannot be implemented with the visible or editable required properties in post change. For example, setting fields to the current date and current user. Use the current date and current user for this field. So this can be done with the help of on change. So there is one property called on change. So if you make any changes in the field, okay, you want to display the current date and current time. So how we can do that? We will see on change of resolution. So there is a field called resolution. So once the user enters some, there is some data entered, there is some text entered. So it is changed with the previous state. So what should happen? Here we are directly setting the field values. A flag entry dot unflagged date equal to current date, the utility method, and flag entry dot unflagged user equal to user dot equal to get current user. So what we are trying? So the below properties values, we are setting it in the unchanged property of the resolution. So you can do in our case also. For example, let us have on change to true when I need to share. Sorry. If I will come to this, okay. So you can call the methods also in the onChange directly. Flag entry dot set fields on resolution. So means you can write enhancement for a particular entity and you can call the method directly. So instead of writing the code in the onChange function directly, so those 2 properties are moved to one method. That method will be invoked. So if you want to make any changes, you directly come to this method and update the code. So instead of writing in the PCF, you are having some modularity. Okay, this is all about the server-side behavior, and let us do this on change in our example once, and so that just sharing the screen and giving the control to you. Let us do one example with the on change part. So let's take can have employees, right? For example, let us take can have employees. The same field that have post on change, okay? And create one more field, one more widget. Let us say, for example, take an input from the toolbox. Just place it off.
Input space. Okay.
So yeah, just go down. You will find date on the date input and input. Yeah,
date input.
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 Okay. Input. Okay, place it over there under voice. Not here. You create everything. You just direct from row. Yeah. Place it here. Okay.
Yeah.
So give some property name, some date, current date. No spaces between ID.
Yeah.
Then ID name of variable. And we require a date property here. Value, go to value. AB contact as AB company.
Dot. What should I give?
Let us choose one. You should give some date field. Okay, go down. Create time. Otherwise, you can update time. You type in update time. UP. Yeah.
Okay.
Click on update time. Okay, this is date control. Save it. Recommended should be false for our case. Let's give up. Required should be false.
What is false? Required is
I
false.
need to mark this.
Okay.
Yeah, required. Just leave it like that.
Okay.
Leave it like that. Save it. And go to the browser. Go to the browser and reload the page. Cancel. Alt Shift plus L. Then
I have not done Alt Shift L over here.
okay. Now you can do it. No, Alt Shift L in the browser, right? Sorry. Go to the details company again. You will find under details. You will find company terms.
Yeah.
Now you can see current date, right?
Yeah.
So it is already displayed. Okay, so it's directly reading the value from the current date object. Update date, update time. Okay, so this is a 28, right? Current date is given as update date. What we will do here is, I mean, if you choose yes, this should be visible and the date should be, or the date should be updated with the current date. Okay.
Okay.
Initially, it is displayed right. Initially, it should be. I mean, you should have the
False.
condition also.
False.
The visible condition for current date and the property also you have to define. Let us define a visible property for the current date. You copy the number of employees visible property from there. You just type it here. No, number of employees. Or okay, the visible property. Copy the complete one and paste it for current date visible property. Now it will not be visible until unless you choose the date and go to can have employees on change. Go to on change. So this is where we have to update the value. On change, there is a property on change. Okay,
Yeah.
now you can write on change. What should happen? You want to set the value NAB contact dot update time.
Current time.
No, not this one. GW dot
Okay.
API dot util dot util dot date util dot current date. Save it. It's complaining. Okay, it will definitely compare because it is entity field where we
Is it double equal to or single equal to only, right?
Single equals only. You just save it and place it over the mouse over there. You will find what is the error. So you cannot update the entity field in a read-only vanilla case. You go there in the red color, right?
Yeah.
Property update time is not writable. So the update time is not writable. You cannot set it directly.
Okay.
So there is the issue.
Okay.
So we will do one thing. We will use any sample property here. Let us take any text property. What is there represent? Let us choose. What is that? It could be anything other value. Any string varchar. You can choose any string. Do not display name. Okay. You can choose email address too. Let us give email address to otherwise.
Address to.
As it is string, right?
Email
address too, not email address. That's email address too.
Okay.
And we set the some default. Go to on change. So change this value to instead of update time, the on change. It should be email address too. Enter, save it. So there is a warning. A yellow color means it's a warning. You might have case sensitive, right? You have given wrong case somewhere. Current date.
No, it's saying like it's a current field that you're date field you are trying to place it over there in email in string.
Okay, no, it's an implicit conversion means it's a date to string you are doing, right?
Yeah.
That is the issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no problem. You can typecast it to string and you can assign. That is not an issue. So let us do the change. And then go to web browser, or you can give, okay, you can typecast not this way.
This will not work?
This choose the as keyword. You just remove this string, parentheses, everything.
Okay, 1 second. Okay.
Just behind, at the end of the statement, space as, no, space.
Okay.
Dot, no dot. Space as. No, dot is not required.
Okay.
As, yes, as, space, string.
Okay. Oh, right. I use Java. Is that okay?
Java.language, correct.
Yeah, okay.
Save it. Now you want to get the error.
Okay.
Warning. Now go to that page and reload the change. Let us see how exactly it will update. So we're trying to update the current date to the that field. So the user chooses, reload the page and the user chooses the value. Or you can give a hard code any email address. You can hard code it directly. Now there is no current date. And click, what is this?
No, it should be coming here, right? When I click here, it should come here.
Okay, the value is not formatted correctly for field email address to must be accounted. So
okay, there is a validation error.
Validation is triggered. Okay, no problem. What we will do is just go to that field on change and remove the date. Instead of that, you just hardcode any string as an email address.
Yeah.
Just complete all this and in double quote give the some corporate help dot some test at the rate should be given. Again, it will fail otherwise.
Okay.
Okay, save it and just reload the change.
Yeah, now it is coming.
Now it's getting it right. So on change directly you can set the properties.
Okay.
That is the importance. So whenever you change, you set the variable on change, post on change should be true, and even though for visible, required, label, for other properties, right, editable. So there are 4 operations you can do with the help of post on change.
Okay.
You can set the requiredness of a property, another property, if it is based on our condition again.
So can we make it required if on changing? That is what you said.
Definitely, we can do that. So if you mark it as in the required field, you have to give the condition. That's it.
Okay.
So you gave the condition for visible property, right?
Okay.
So instead of that, you just copy the condition to the required property. So your job is done.
Okay. Yeah, this is a great advantage when all this Salesforce, Agent Support, Guidewire, all 3 are almost, it's the same concept, but their implementation is different.
Yeah, correct.
In Salesforce, you cannot make a field required.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Okay. You worked on Salesforce also?
Yeah, I know Salesforce too. I have not worked on it,
Oh,
but I know.
yeah. That is also very, popular nowadays, I guess,
Yeah.
Salesforce.
I mean, in CAP, there, I'm from Digital Transformation Group.
Oh, okay.
So in CAP, I think they're betting big on Salesforce.
Okay. Guideware also, they do have, very large capacity of users and
Yeah, there are
developers.
like 1,000 people in Guideware, right? I think CAP is the biggest
Right.
now.
Yeah, not only I think CAP will be the one. So E and Y will be. Is a more, very good competitor in the
Market,
Guideware
yeah.
section. Ernst and Young and PwC, they have a very large number of projects. So Guideware is, Capgemini is also having a very large number of projects. But when you see, they are already well proved in this sector. Their background matches with this Guideware. So actually, they are consultants, right? EY and
PwC.
these PwC.
PwC is there in India, huh? I think it's there in Bangalore, right?
It's
Not in Hyderabad.
yeah, it's not in Hyderabad. EY and PwC not in Hyderabad. The two are in Bangalore.
Yeah.
EY is expanding their branches in Chennai. Recently, I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
So they are looking for Hyderabad also, but see, Hyderabad maybe it takes some more time.
You have not worked on conversion, right? Project.
Conversion, no, I didn't work. Conversion, some time back I had, I see the process. Earlier I was, placed for that project, but when I got into the project, I moved out of that.
Okay. Conversion is also top now, like for E and Y.
Okay.
But in US, most of these projects, Guideware projects, are won by CAP.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay, let's complete this client-side behavior. Okay, so that we will validate. The processing rate will be completed. So client-side widget behavior is nothing but whatever we saw till now is completely server-side, which means that so the validation or the request come to the server again and the complete page will be rendered. So there is that gives there is a performance issue sometimes. To resolve that issue, some scenarios you can do the validation of whatever we did that can be handled in the client side. That is done with the help of reflection. So reflection is nothing but which involves a triggering widget and one or more listening widgets. So here, not the complete page refresh will be done. So there will be one triggering widget, and based on that, the listening widgets will invoke or execute their logic. So how it can be done, we will see here. So if you see primary contact, if I choose the primary contact from the dropdown, it should display the complete address information, email address, as well as the address associated with that particular contact. So here reflection can be used to set the listening widgets value or availability. So these are the two properties that can be defined on a reflection mechanism, not the other ones like visibility, requiredness, label. So these three properties you cannot handle with the help of reflection. So you can handle only two properties. One is value and next one is availability. So let us do one example here. So whenever you want to have a reflection, so reflection should be configured on listening widgets reflection tab. So you have to go to the listening widget, not the parent widget. So if the triggering widget, so go to the listening widget, and there you have to click on reflection tab after the properties, and you will find the triggering IDs. So what are the triggering IDs you have to pass here. So to enable, first you have to check the checkbox here, enable client reflection, and there you will find triggering IDs and what is the operation you have to do. So to get the IDs, you should notify, you should identify the what is the triggering widget first and what is the ID of that. So ID, in this case, ID will be used, not the value. So here ID will be primary contact in this case. So in the listening widgets triggering ID, we will be giving the primary contact. And value, we want to display the email address in the listening widget. So here, if I choose the primary contact, the email address related to that contact should be displayed. So how exactly I can do that? So in order to get that, so we have to use the one token is available in the runtime. So that is called value. Value is nothing but it is a token that contains the value of triggering widget. So the primary contact will be referenced by the value token. So here value.email address 1 is nothing but primary contact dot email address 1. But in general we will be using value syntax only. Okay, not directly we will be using the entity name or entity fields. And you can see the contact is having this primary email address, and the email address is populated based on the selection of the contact. If it is a Madison, the Madison address, Richard Madison email address will be displayed. Otherwise, if you choose another contact, the contacts, William and his contacts email address will be displayed in this case. And additional reflection techniques. So similar to that, you can do some calculations also. It will be useful during the calculation. So you are giving some values, and based on that, you can calculate the total score. So here the triggering widgets will be multiple triggering widgets will be there. So score timelines. Why? Because if you change one of the widget value, then also the reflection should trigger. So the calculation should be done properly. So if you give one of them, if you miss one of them, so that triggering will not happen. So if there are multiple trigger widgets, you have to mention as a comma separated list, and the value should be we have to give the exact value. And so you cannot use reflection directly. Modify widget editability. You can to modify editability, that cannot be done here. So generally we will be using for availability only. So whether it should be available or not, that can be defined. So set editability true. So this can be done with the help of set editability true, and set reflection types available property as needed. So here in the available property, you can say something like this: if value.email address 1 not equal to null, then only it should be the value should be visible. Visible in the sense it will be visible, but it will not be available. So that is how you can make the availability condition. So editability cannot be done. So there is no email address. And similar to that, you can see if the finance manager equal to payment contact. The finance manager is payment contact. Then you want to display some other fields, or what you should display. Then it should display the self. So these are the some examples, so which you can execute on your own. And let us see if you find any issues. I will definitely help you in this regard.
Okay. Yeah.
So there are multiple widgets with the help of question, change, and reflection. How we can do the differences between these two mechanisms. And yeah, I think if you want, we can do it now. Otherwise, I'm just sharing this slide to you, so you can do it on your own.
Anything is fine. If you want me to do, I'll do it, and probably next class we can see.
Also, we can finish it off. Yeah, I will the control. Choose one of the two widgets. You should understand the triggering widget and what is the listening widget. So the widget ID should be taken properly. So I'm just sharing a control to you.
Yeah.
So that we can see. So let us take one good example here. So prefers contact by email or whatever. Prefers contact by email.
Can we do it in the summary page?
Yeah, you can do it. No problem.
Okay.
So let's do for so we will do one thing. We can set some value. So if the user chooses California as a state, so we we should we want to give some default zip code, postal code for that location, for the state. We can do that example. So double click here. What is this error? Detail view panel. Just remove this. Go down. Scroll down in the screen area. Scroll down again. The detail view panel is left as a blank format. That is not required. You can delete the detail view.
This one is not required, right?
It's coming.
I don't know.
Not required. Delete that. And this one also not required. Detail view. Okay. Okay. Just double click this. The open basic address input set.
First, I should click on enable state reflection, right? Client reflection.
Yeah, or no, we want to do it for postal code, right? We have to, I mean, if the state equal to so value, we want to make the postal code as some default value. We can do that, right? So you have to click on postal code, listening widget. Postal code is the listening widget in this case. Go to reflection tab.
Enable client.
No, just after. Yeah, it's loading slowly, I guess. For me. Enable client reflection. So we have to understand first two concepts. So one is triggering widget, next one is listening widget. Triggering widget, go to widget ID.
No, yeah.
State, click on state.
Okay.
What is this? State, and go to properties. What is the state? I think it would be copy, and go to postal code. Triggering widget should be given like this. So you paste it here under triggering widget. Paste it, and the value we want to, give the value directly. Value. Okay.
By default, I'm giving 94102. If the state is state equal to CA, I'll give. Can I give a condition like this?
The value you have to give the condition, some condition. The value itself, you one second. Condition. Not here. No. Here you have to give the other one, state only. Simple reflection way of loading it, right? Value email address one. So the value. So you have to give the value. Value equals double equals.
Huh?
Yeah, you have to check for value double equals. No, give the value. Give the value keyword, capital value, not the one. Capital value.
Okay.
Capital, only capital. Equal to double equals.
Okay.
So what should be the? You just click on the left smart bulb icon, the help icon. You can click on the bulb icon.
Which record?
Bulb icon is there, right? Smart bulb. The value double equal to you got bulb, right? You click there. You will find for which state you can directly assign. Let us say CA, California.
Okay.
Save it. So if you have to give the condition something like this. If value equal to California, so you want to give the condition, right? So it should be given as a ternary operator, or you can give the ternary operator, so that you just place it under two parentheses, the value equal to CA, directly place it in a brackets or a parenthesis one. Left parenthesis and right parenthesis for value equal to C. Open a parenthesis, left parenthesis and right parenthesis. First you have to have an initial. What is that first one? Left parenthesis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now use the ternary operator, question mark.
Okay.
String literal of what is the value you want to give, some postal code. Double quote close and
colon, right?
Colon and give the blank string. Okay, save it. Why the state is coming error? Click on state. What is that regarding? Reflection. What is that?
Reflection is.
Reflection attribute.
I think I need to
enable, right?
I need to disable it, right?
You have to enable the reflection on postal code. Okay. You have given it wrong place.
Yeah. No, I have actually. Okay. I did it on the both side. Yeah, now it is gone.
Oh. Go to state. Okay, now it won't have, right?
Yeah.
The postal code reflection you have to give. Now go to the browser. Cancel and reload the page. Now click on state. Choose any of the state. Okay. California chosen. Cancel and reload again. Alt Shift plus L. No, Alt Shift plus L. You do the cancel.
I did.
Alt Shift plus L again. No, sometimes in the edit mode, if you do that, it won't take effect.
Okay.
So you have to try it.
Yeah.
You can see it, right? You change it to some other value.
Yeah.
It should be blank. Yeah, this is how the reflection. So it means you can see the page is not at all refreshed.
Okay.
So it won't have any performance issues if you use reflection. So that is why in the most of the cases the processing will be handled with the help of this client side processing one, not instead of server side.
Okay. So basically they're writing a JavaScript.
Okay. Yeah, basically everything is converted into the browser related technology, JavaScript and complete HTML, everything is converted back into this one.
Okay.
Is this Firebug or developer, web developer? This is Firebug.
Chrome only.
Chrome. Okay, Chrome developer options.
Yeah.
So everything is present. What we have to do is we have to configure the properties exactly.
Okay.
Similarly, you can calculate from 4 fields. So for example, if the user gives some values, state, country has some values, then you want to choose what is the visa type in the drop down. So that kind of operations we can handle with the help of reflection.
Okay.
So let us say if the state belongs to some California and that country belongs to United States, then we will say the student, the contact is eligible for F1 visa or he is eligible for H1 visa. That kind of drop down, so we can render with the help of this processing transfer.
Okay.
So we will do one thing. We will stop this session for now, and we will continue in the evening.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I will share the 2 slides so that you can do some practice on
Yeah, sure.
What time you may, in the morning you may wake up in the morning?
Yeah, I am flexible. If you want me to wake up early, I can.
Oh, no problem.
No, if you want to take your family out or if you are busy, then we can do it in the evening also.
Okay, so Yeah, I'll do one thing. So my time 8 a.m., 8 p.m. So your time is 7:30 a.m. Is that okay for you?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
can
yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. I think that is okay with me.
Okay, then I will ping by that time.
Hmm.
So okay, I will join by that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.